Namo Namaha Bhaktam Sarvesham Hardam Swagatam. Welcome back to the channel Sanskrit Sopanam. I hope you are doing great. I'm also good. And today we are decoding 19th shloka in our series Learning Sanskrit through Gita. And this shloka is very interesting because in this shloka we will see how a single dhatu, a single verb root, how it is being modified in 4 different ways. And all the 4 different forms of this dhatu, they are giving each of them, they are giving different meanings. So it is interesting to note how this is happening. And also we will see what is the difference between an adjective to a noun or a complement to a noun. So using a noun as an adjective or using a noun as a complement, these are 2 different things. How do they matter in the shloka while we are decoding it? So all this we will see through the shloka. So pretty interesting shloka grammatically. We will, I hope we'll learn something new. Without wasting any more time, let's quickly dive in today's video. Okay, so this is the shloka that we will decode today. Let me go through the shloka once. Ya enam vetti hantaram yaschainam manyate hatam ubhau tau na vijanito nayam hanti nahanyate. Okay, so this is the shloka that we'll decode today, and this here is the Sandhi Vichhed version of the shloka. So again you can see ya, yaha. So a visarga lopa sandhi is happening here. Then you can see these 3 words, they are combining together. Ya, cha, enam, yas, chainam. So one sandhi is happening here, that is a sakara sandhi, and another sandhi is happening here, that is a vriddhi sandhi. Then again you can see here vijanitah na, vijanito na. So this is a ukara sandhi. This of course is a simple dirgha sandhi. Okay, so we can see that all those sandhi that we usually encounter in every verse that we are decoding, so the same sandhis are repeating here. All the sandhi details along with the word by word breakdown, everything as you know is in the PDF file. Download that PDF file from the link in the description box. We will just directly jump into the decoding of the shloka. Okay, so we are starting our decoding process using this kriya pada vijanitaha. So vijanitaha, this simply means they understand. Okay, and this they here is actually they both. Because this janitaha, V is the upsarga, we will see anyways. Janitaha, this is a dual, dvivachana form. So janati, janitaha, jananti. So janitaha is a dual form, that is why they both understand. And since a na is preceding it, so na vijanitaha, they do not understand. Simple as that. So this particular kriya pada is coming from the dhatu nya dhatu. And nya dhatu again, this means to know or to understand. Okay, to know something, to understand something in that sense. The form here is third person. So we are talking about some third person. Okay, some he, some she, they in that sense. Dual, as I told you, it is in dvivachanam and present tense. That is a lat lakara in Sanskrit. So this nya in these 3 properties becomes janitaha, this much, janitaha. But again, as we see in the shloka, this V here, this is the upsarga. V, this upsarga is simply giving it more meaning. It is enhancing the meaning in a sense that janitaha, this simply means they understand. But with vijanitaha, so they clearly understand in that sense. This V, it enhances the meaning. Clearly understand, to clearly know something in that sense. So anyways, we are starting with this, and immediately the question will be kau na vijanitaha, that who too do not understand. And the response is tau ubhau na vijanitaha. And tau ubhau, this simply translates as they both do not understand in that sense. Let us see these words. So ubha here, this means both. Okay, we have seen this word quite often, senyor, ubhyor, madhya in all these sentences. Ubha, this means both. It denotes that. And of course, in first word case, prathama vibhakti and both. So obviously it is second, it is dvivachanam. So in prathama vibhakti, dvivachanam, ubha, this changes into ubhau. Okay. And I want to say they both. So I want to add this pronoun also. So they. So all this pronoun we know comes from tad pratipadika. So the pronoun tad, this will also take the same form as its noun. So it will also be in the first word case and dvivachanam form. So tad, this changes into tau. Okay, very easily using the form, seeing the form, you can guess they both are in pullinga gender, in masculine gender form. Because we know for this tad pronoun, we have the forms like saha, tau, te. So saha, tau, te, that is of course the pullinga, masculine gender form. So anyways, tau ubhau na vijanitaha, they both do not understand. They both clearly do not understand. That is the context so far. And moving forward, I am asking the question saha kaha. So this again here is referring to one person because we have they both do not understand. So basically we are talking about some 2 people. So first I am inquiring about the first person in that sense. Sahaka, who is he? Who is that first person? Describe him. And we get this statement, yaha vetti. Okay, yaha we know, one who, or we also translate it as he who. He who does this, he who will do this will get this, in that sense, right? And Veti. So Veti, this means knows. He or she knows. This again is a Kriya Pada. This is coming from Vid Dhatu. So just as we saw, no, Janitaha. So this was coming from Nya Dhatu. Nya Dhatu also used in the sense of to know, to understand. And again, as we know about Sanskrit, that to address a meaning, to give some meaning, there are multiple words that can be used. Same goes for the verbal roots also. Because similarly, you also have the root like Budh. So Budh Dhatu again means to realize, to understand in that sense. So we always have multiple options in Sanskrit. That is the same case we are witnessing here. Anyways, with dhatu in third person, because again we know we are talking about some third person. So in third person singular and let lakar, same present tense let lakar, this with, this changes into vetti. Okay, and along with the pronoun yaha, so yaha vetti, one who knows. Okay, in that sense. And now when we'll move on, so of course the question will be that what? Kam yaha vetti, that one who knows what is the object. So the response we get is yah enam hantaram vetti. Okay, so enam, this translates as this. Hantaram, this translates as the slayer or the killer, one who kills, one who slays, in that sense. See this enam, this pronoun. So we have already seen the use of idam, this pratipadika, right? Idam pronoun we use when we have to represent this. Okay, things that are close by us. And for this, we also have another pronoun, that is etat. Okay, actually the pratipadika is etad. Okay, so etad, idam, they both serve the same purpose. We have used them quite often. But anyways, this idam pratipadika, so we are using the pullinga. We are using the masculine gender form, the pullinga form. And we know that in pullinga or masculine gender form, in first word case, prathama vibhakti, this idam, this changes as I am. Okay, because this idam pratipadika, it have quite different verb forms, right? We are used to saha, eshaha, saha taute, in that sense. This idam has slightly different word forms. That is why I hope you remember at least the prathama and dutiya vibhakti forms, because these are the most commonly used. So idam in masculine gender form, prathama vibhakti, it changes into I am, and in dutiya vibhakti and singular, this changes into this enam. Okay, and why we are using Dvitiya Vibhakti? Because of course, Enam Hantaram, both these words are the object of this Kriya, Vetti. So Vetti, this is the Kriya, Yaha, this is the Karta, and the Karma is denoted by Enam Hantaram. So the Karma is denoted in the Dvitiya Vibhakti form. That is why we are using the Dvitiya Vibhakti form, Idam changing into Enam. Okay. So I hope this is clear. Actually, for Dvitiya Vibhakti singular form, for this Pratipadika Idam, we also have another word, that is imam. So we also have this form, imam. Here we are using this enam. So that is the same thing. And an important thing to note here is this enam. This is pointing towards an implicit use of self. Self, that is Atma. Okay, because in previous few shlokas we are seeing that Krishna, he is explaining the nature of Atma, the nature of self. Okay, it is Sat, it is indestructible, it is infinite. So in the previous shlokas we have seen Krishna describe that self, and the same is continued here. So this enam, this pronoun is pointing towards this implicit self or Atma, the Jivatma. Okay, so we have to keep that in mind for the context of the shloka. And now this Hantaram. So this is coming from the root, the verb root Han. And in the beginning of the video, I told you know that there is one verb root that is modified in 4 different ways. So this is that verb root dhatu Han. So we will see how this same dhatu Han dhatu is being modified in 4 different ways. Because you can see the forms also, Hantaram, then you have Hatam, then you have Hanti, and then you have Hanyate. So all these 4 words you can already guess they are coming from this single dhatu, Han dhatu, being modified in different ways. Anyways, Hantaram, this means slayer or killer. This is coming from the verb root Han, which is modified using a trich pratyay. Okay, trich pratyay. And what does this trich suffix do? So trich suffix, this adds the meaning of the doer of this action. So with whatever dhatu, with whatever kriya, this trich is attached. So the doer of that action, one who does that action. So Han, this means to kill. We already know this dhatu. We have seen this dhatu so many times. Han means to kill or to slay. Both means the same thing. So when we modify this dhatu using trich pratyay, so the new pratipadika that we create is hantra. This is the new pratipadika, hantra. Okay, and this hantra pratipadika, this will describe anyone who kills. anyone who slays. So basically, a killer or a slayer. Okay, in that sense. So I hope the use of this trich pratyaya, this is clear. Hantra, this is the pratipadika. As you can see, this is a rikarant pratipadika. Just as we have pratipadika like kartra. So you see this kartra. From this kartra only, we get the form karta. This is the prathama vibhakti form. Who is karta? So one who does. And now you can understand because this kartra, this is coming from kri dhatu that is modified using the same trich pratyaya. Kri means to do, and one who does that action, one who does, that is called karta. So now you can make the connection there. So trich suffix in the sense of doer. Okay. So hantra, this is the pratipadika, this is a rikarant pratipadika, and of course we are using the dutiya vibhakti form. In prathama vibhakti, it would have been hanta, one who kills. Here it is in the form of the karma of this kriya vetti. So we are using the dutiya vibhakti, second word case form. In second word case, it is hantaram. Okay, what we see in the shloka here. So I hope this is clear, and this is the first modification of this han dhatu using trich pratyaya. Three more to go, we will see. But anyways, in the beginning of the shloka, Krishna says, Tau ubhau na vijanita. They both do not understand. So this is how he is describing the first person. And this person is again in a general sense. That such person, in that sense, a general sense, what he's saying is, Yah enam hantaram vetti. The one who knows this self as the slayer or as the killer. And now there comes a very interesting thing that I want to mention here. You see this enam and hantaram. So usually what we will see that this is a pronoun that is of course referring to some noun, and this here is the adjective, how we are describing it, that this self is a killer. But there is a difference here. And the difference is this hantaram. This is not acting as an adjective. No, it is not an adjective here. It is rather an objective complement. Okay. So we have our object here, that is enam, that is of course referring to this self, and this hantaram is acting like a objective complement of it. So there is a difference between what is an adjective and what is a complement. What is the difference we will see, but first let me decode the second line also. So I'm basically repeating the question, punaschikaha, then who else? So okay, what about the next one? So yaha manyate, one who considers. Manyate, okay, slight change. The overall meaning that they are trying to say is more or less similar, but they are using a different verb root. We are using man dhatu here. Man again means to think or to consider in both the sense, man dhatu. Okay, and manyate, this also is the same. You can already guess it is also a third person singular and lat lakar form, just as this vetti. Okay, yaha vetti, one who knows. But here we are using man dhatu, that means to consider or to think. So yaha manyate, one who considers. Okay. So I hope this is clear. And again the same question will pop up, that kam yaha manyate, that what do they consider? And now we see that yaha enam hatam manyate. Okay. That one who considers enam. We already know enam is talking about this or this self, this jivatma. So one who consider this self to be hatam, to be slain or to be killed. Okay, hatam, let us understand this word. So now we will see the second modification of the same verb root han. Han again means to kill, and here we are modifying using ta pratyay. And ta pratyay again, the most common pratyay that we encounter in almost every shloka. What does ta pratyay do? It creates a past participle of this verb root. So han means to kill, and when we modify using ta pratyay, the meaning will become someone or something that is killed. Okay, something that is killed, something that is destroyed in that sense. So the past participle form in that sense, when we combine han dhatu with ta, due to some internal sandhi rules that apply to this particular pratyay, this is dropped. So what we get is hata. This is the pratipadika that we get. We don't get hanta. So han dhatu modified using ta suffix, the pratipadika is hata. And this pratipadika will again denote everything that is killed, that is slain in that sense. And just as we did for hantaram, we use the dutiya vibhakti singular form. So same, dutiya vibhakti singular form, hatam. Hata changes into hatam. Okay, because again, they are the object of this kriya, manyate, just as they were the object of this kriya, vetti. Okay, and the statement reads, yaha enam hatam manyate. One who considers, he who considers this self to be killed, to be slain. Okay, in that sense. And just as I pointed out for this word, hantaram, so this hatam, this also is not an adjective. This also is an objective complement of this enum. Okay, there is a difference because you can see how I place also them. When I place the adjectives with the noun or the pronoun, so I always place the adjectives before this noun or pronoun, right? We always place the adjective before. Sundaraha balakaha, a beautiful boy. But see here I am placing the complement afterwards. That enam hantaram, the self as the slayer or the self as killed or to be killed in that sense. Let us see what is the difference here. Okay, so to demonstrate what I am trying to get here is, you see these two sentences. First, let us take a look at this. Sa sundaram balam manyate. Okay, manyate again means considers, right? Sa manyate, so she considers. So the entire statement is, she considers the beautiful boy. Sundaram balam, beautiful boy. So here, balam, this is of course the noun that represents this boy. And sundaram here, this is an adjective of this noun. So the beautiful boy, sundaram balam. Okay, so this is the very common use that we see. Noun adjective, this relationship, right? Now you see this statement. Sa balam sundaram manyate. And the translation is, she considers, sa manyate, she considers the boy as beautiful. Okay, sa balam sundaram manyate. So here this balam again is the noun of course, but this sundaram is the complement. It is like a complement to this noun. Okay, it is not an adjective to this noun. Because reading both the statements, you can clearly see how different their meaning is. She considers the beautiful boy. Okay, that beautiful boy, maybe he made some point, he made some statement, he said something, and she considers that. So basically, she considers the beautiful boy. But here in the second statement, she considers the boy as beautiful. So this beautiful, this is like a new information. This is like a new information that was not known before to everyone. So in a way, the speaker is telling this new information about this boy, that she considers the boy as beautiful. So I hope you can see the difference here, that when two words in a statements who are following the same vibhakti, same word case, they are related to each other. So it is not necessarily always the case that one word is the adjective of the second word. No, sometimes that one word is a complement to it. It is like describing a quality that was unknown for the reader, for the listener before. So it is that new information, that new quality that is being described now. Okay, and you can see the placement also, that Sundaram Balam, beautiful boy. But here Balam Sundaram, that the boy as beautiful. It is like a new information that is conveyed for this boy. So that is the difference I wanted to show. These two relations, they also have some technical name, that in such cases this is adjective and this is called as it is not called as noun, it is rather called as substantive. Okay, what we say in Sanskrit, no, that this is a visheshan and this is the visheshya, something that is being qualified using this adjective. So this statement is basically showing an adjective and substantive relationship between these two words. And this also here has a technical name. This is represented as the main noun and this is represented as a predicate of it. Basically in Sanskrit again we have the name. This is called as uddeshya and this is called as vidheya. Okay, but these are again the technical terms. What I want you to understand is just the logic of this thing here. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Because also see, if I use this hantaram as the adjective of this, so the entire meaning will change. Here we know the context. In the context of the shloka so far, what we have is that Krishna is saying that both of them na vijanita, both of them, they do not understand, that both of them are ignorant. Oh, who are those two? So one who knows the self as the killer and one who considers the self as to be killed. But see, if I use this hantaram as an adjective, so yah hantaram enam vetti. So the statement will read, one who knows the killer self. One who knows the killer self. So the entire meaning will change. Same goes for this, that yah hatam enam manyate. One who considers the killed self. So you can see that it will sound illogical. That one who knows the killer self, one who considers the killed self. It doesn't mean anything. So that is the difference between an adjective and a complement. Okay, and related to this only, you may have heard of subject and subjective complement. Same goes for object and objective complement. So what is that? So same thing. See, when the noun, when your main noun is in the prathama vibhakti, when the main noun is the subject, so the word that is its complement, it becomes subjective complement. And when the noun is a karma, is the object, So its complement becomes objective complement. So basically it is just way of describing them. If you want to mention this hantaram, so we already know that this enam, this here is an object, the karma of this kriya. So this hantaram is the objective complement of this enam. Same goes for this hatam. This hatam is also an objective complement of this enam. Okay, so just the way of representing them. The main thing is to note that for a noun there can be an adjective and there can also be a complement. This here is the complement, and this is the difference that we saw. So I hope this point is clear. Let us move on. And in this last statement, Krishna is just going to reinforce what he just said. So I am, this basically means this. Okay, I showed you this form no before, that this is coming from that idam pratipadika. In for that masculine gender pullinga form, for prathama vibhakti singular, this idam changes into I am. Okay, this, and we already know that this is the implied sense, that this self, this atma, this jivatma, we are talking about that, the continuous theme from the previous few shlokas. Okay, and by the way, if you have this question that this idam pratipadika, why it is in masculine gender pullinga form, so again, since this idam, this is representing this self, this atman, and we know that in Sanskrit, this Atman, this is a pulling gender. This is a masculine gender pratipadika. So we can see that since the implied noun Atman, what we are talking about, Atman, the Atma, since this is a masculine gender pratipadika, so we are using this idam in the masculine gender form. I am. Okay. So anyways, this self, and what about it? So Krishna is saying, I am nahanti. This self nahanti. Hanti, this means kills. Okay. And now here we see the third modification of this dhatu, han dhatu, and this is in the form third person singular and lat lakar form. Okay, so this is a simple verb form. So previously what we saw is hantaram, this was han dhatu modified using trich suffix. Then we saw hatam, han dhatu modified using the suffix. So both of these were a kridanta, the verbs getting modified using a suffix. But this hanti is a simple verb form in third person singular and lat lakar, that is present tense in Sanskrit. Han changes into hanti, that he or she kills. In this sense we know that ayam hanti, so this self kills. And sorry, of course we have a preceding na here, so this self na hanti, does not kill. Okay, in that sense. So I hope this is clear. This hanti, don't confuse this form with the bahuvachana plural form, because we are very used to such forms like no pathanti, patati, patata, pathanti. So when we see this anti, we assume it is a plural bahuvachana form. But hanti, we already saw no, the dhatu itself has this na. So hanti, hanti, that is the singular form only, right? Ekvachanam form. So don't confuse that. But anyways, I am, this self na hanti, does not kills. And there is one more statement, that this self na hanyate. And hanyate, this means is killed. Okay, so again see, there is a difference, that this self does not kill and this self does not gets killed, is killed, gets killed in that sense. So finally we see the last, the fourth modification of this verb root han, and this han dhatu again in third person singular and lat lakar, this changes into hanyate. And now you can raise a question that this hanti came from this form, right? Han dhatu in third person singular lat lakar changed into hanti, but from where this hanyate is coming? So this hanyate is the karmani prayoga. Is the karmani prayoga. Karmani prayoga, basically the passive voice construct. So the passive voice form of this dhatu. So basically what I'm trying to convey is kenachit atma na hanyate. It is the karmani form. It is the passive voice construct. That the soul, the atma, the self is not killed. Na hanyate is not killed kenachit by anyone. In that sense, the self is not killed, cannot be killed by anyone. So this hanyate is the karmani form of this han dhatu. Okay, so the properties are same, third person singular lat lakar, but it is the karmani prayog, is killed. And again, na hanti, na hanyate. So that is why I am using neither and nor, because we are showing like two contrast, like neither it kills nor it gets killed. That is why I have used neither and nor. Okay. So I hope this karmani prayoga is also clear, because we have spoken about this before also. The simple sentence that Rama kills Ravana. So here this is a normal active voice construct. What we say in Sanskrit, the kartari prayoga. Rama kills Rama. And in kartari prayoga, the verb kills. The verb is always associated with the karta, the agent of the action. So Rama kills. That is the main thing. That is why we use the kartari prayoga. Rama kills Ravana. But if I change it into karmani prayoga in passive voice construct, then the sentence become Ravana is killed by Ram. So here this verb is killed. This is directly associated with the karma now. The more importance is given to the karma, the object here, Ravana. So Ravana is killed by Ram. So that is the karmani prayoga. And when we use the karmani prayoga in Sanskrit, we always have to use the karmani verb form. And always we cannot use the kartari verb form. We have to use the karmani verb form. And one thing more, you should remember, karmani verb forms, they are always in the atmanepadi form. As you saw there also, no, that hanyate, patyate, hanyate. So these are atmanepadi form, no, te, ete, ante. So the karmani verb forms, they are always in the atmanepadi form. So we have spoken about these things and I hope you remember these things. Okay, the difference between the kartari prayoga form and the karmani prayoga form, and both in the form also and both in what they convey in their meaning, in their contextual use also. Okay, but anyways, with this we have completed the translation of shloka. Let us see the anvay now, so we get the full picture of the shloka. So the anvay goes like yah enam antaram vetti, that yah vetti, one who knows, enam we know, we are talking about the self, the jivatma. So one who knows the self as what? So hantaram, one who knows the self as the killer, and one who manyate, one who considers the self hatam, one who considers the self to be killed. Tau ubhav, they both na vijanita, they both do not clearly understand, they both do not clearly realize the fact. So basically Krishna is saying both of these people, both of them are ignorant, yataha, because ayam, like this self, na hanti, it neither slays, na hanyate, nor is slain, that the self neither kills nor is killed. So he's telling Arjuna that if he thinks that by killing some person you are killing the self is killed, you are wrong. And if you think that the one who is killing is the self, then also you are wrong. The self, it neither kills nor is getting killed, because the self is the pure consciousness, because the self is the pure existence. It was, it is, it will be. It is the only thing that is Sat. So he's just reinforcing that theme. So that is the entire decoding of the shloka. I hope the difference between what is an adjective and what is a complement, that is clear. And I hope you had fun seeing how a single verb root han, it became hantaram, it became hatam, it became hanti, and it became hanyate. So how a single verb root was modified in 4 different ways, each giving their own meaning. And by the way, before wrapping this session up, if you're confused as to how I can get the karmani forms or the kartari forms of any verb root I want, so just let me show you one website. Okay, so you can directly use this ashtadhyayi.com. Okay, ashtadhyayi.com, you can go to the dhatu pata section, and suppose we had that han dhatu, right? Han dhatu, that means to kill. So you get this dhatu, han dhatu, when you open it. So by default, it is showing you this kartari prayoga forms. So the general forms that we use, patati, patata, pathanti, all these forms are kartari. So here you will find all the kartari verb forms, okay, in whatever lakar you want. And then you can use the drop down and you can go to this bhava karmanoho. So this is the karmani form. Now you can see hanyate. That is what we saw, right? Hanti was the kartari prayoga. Hanyate was the karmani prayoga in the sense of is killed. Okay. So here you can get all the karmani forms in all the different lakar. So this is how you can use. And again, you have kridanta also. You can get all the different kridanta form of this particular verb root. You can have upsarga also if they have upsarga detail. So you will get the upsarga also. Basically, try to explore this website if you're not, ashtadhyayi.com. Okay. But anyways, that was it. Everything is also in the PDF file. So do download that PDF file and keep it for your ready reference. I hope the session was fun. You learned something. I'll meet you in the next video with another shloka. Until then, stay awesome, stay happy, keep learning Sanskrit. Vayam punah milamaha. Dhanyavad.